Good morning, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We have some Irish people around here because you can't have St. Patrick's Day without some Irish. All right, let's get some charts. Chart. As we all know, we had a nice reversal day on Friday. It was the first day there was a close above a prior bar's high. And that in itself, after so many days down, is a buy signal. Luckily, well, not luckily, but it's a good thing. And I wish they were deeper, the internals were deeper into an extreme, but this sentiment gauge reached well into the lower bands, which is great. This one didn't, but you know, you remember these internals are dropping off old data. So even if, let's say, today or tomorrow wasn't a down day, by dropping off old data, and I'd have to look at it to see what it is. If it was dropping off old data where the numbers were, um, bullish. Let's just, without explanation, let's call it bullish. This could drop down. But anyway, if even if today was a little bit of a intraday selling, and what we don't want to see is prices pull and close deeply into this wide range bar. Right? We never want to see prices close deeply into a wide range bar after a long decline into support and a reversal day. Um, we want to see it stay in the upper 50%. Um, we'll see if today is a narrow range day. That's often what comes after a wide range day, but doesn't have to. Um, and we'll see if it gets through here. Okay? Any event, looking at the lower time frames, it's a trading range. Right? So just because we had a reversal day doesn't mean it's totally off to the races. And we'll see if prices can clear this level. And if they can, right, that opens up the door to this void of overhead resistance. And those that are, saying, what is this void thing? Well, it's really simple. You know what? I don't want to make light of what is less understandable to others, but we look at this and like, what don't you get? It's a self-explanatory word, void. Something's missing. Right? And because technical analysis is so gray, let's say gray, and realizing, it's looking to the left, support resistance is so much, subjective information. People just have a hard time wrapping their head around the simplicity of what we do. So it's you get a momentum move. What's a momentum move? Fluid price movement to the downside. It's like, okay, this is what typically ends a decline. Um, and so we're looking at it within this time frame. And so you got to put it in the context of, it's going down for a while. But in this time frame, you get an accelerated move, and that moves prices away from resistance, and then you get a time correction, and prices move sideways through time, and that brings prices far away from where resistance is and opens up the probability of moving up toward resistance. And then we see where it goes from there. Right now, we're still within the resistance area, and prices, as we look at the S&Ps, have to clear this area to be able to start moving more freely into this area. So we'll see whether that's going to be today, whether there'll be a dip, whether whatever's going to come is going to come to us today. And that, as that unfolds, right, we will go with. So there was some news that just came out, economic news. Prices drove up. They stalled at the resistance area. And now we go from there. Pretty simple stuff. You got to bring simplicity and common sense to this technical analysis thing, because it's really just, I love the word brain damage. All right. So same thing in the Qs here. Resistance area. It's up in that area. Let's see if I can. Got to turn it red, otherwise it doesn't work. There we go. So up at the top of resistance, same story. What we're looking for is something that's showing relative strength or relative weakness. So as we look at the Dow, nope. Oh, but the resistance area, sell off, deep retracement, sideways. So far, so good. Good start to potentially making a turn and to move up. Let's look at the Russell. And pretty messy stuff, but you can see messy acceleration, whipping back and forth, up at resistance, trying to tighten up here, inside day on the daily time frame, and lots of damage, having been done to the weekly time frames. Significant damage, by the way, because as we look at indices, and we see a breakdown in the spiders through two pivot lows, this turns it, based on how we look at this, into a downtrend, even though it's not making lower highs and lower lows yet. And it hasn't reached its destination. Not that it has to, and this is something that can kind of play with your mind a little bit, because in that, you look to the left and you say, okay, there's the support area. It's got to get down there, and that's where it needs to make the turn. Well, ideally, yes, but it doesn't have to, because as individuals, traders, institutions, so on and so forth, anticipate a turn, they start bidding above the resistance area, like they did here, right? And here, but it failed. So now prices are broken down. They're under the 200, they're under the 50, so on and so forth. It may get down here. Right now, we've got a reversal pattern that should go up and test the 200, right? That's the theory, and we'll see what it actually does. Right? Okay, and let's look at the Qs, where they're at as far as gaps up here. Why did I change that? Properties. Cursor, always show it. Okay. All right, so gapping up there, top of the range, same thing, just looking where it's gapping. Does it, create some distance intraday? And so just up in that area. Nothing of great significance happening here this morning. A little bit of follow through on the news, and we'll see where we go from here. Transports are broken, severely broken. And this is what I mean by reaching an initial destination. Now, part of what we call MTS, price analysis covered in the course. Well, how did it get down to its destination? Right? Meaning, did it just collapse down there? So one of the things that we've talked about in the last several weeks is reading momentum. And so when this has come down with this kind of momentum, strong momentum, sure, and especially when it comes into an area like that, sure, it suggests stabilization, but it also suggests that it's going to come down again, because the momentum in this time frame hasn't slowed yet. So a retest, some sideways back and forth, and there are things that could change that bias. But until that happens, that's the bias. Short-term bounce, likely to come down again, could make a lower low. And at this point, as we get into the next several weeks, we'll see what happens. But the transports, what we'd like to see is them start to show some relative strength, meaning things that did not come down as severely as the transports, assuming that things do come down again and do some retest, right? We'll measure, not with some measuring tape or protractor. It'll be the distance between a current turn and the next turn, the distance between them to read that momentum, is that the transports do not fall as far. And that type of price action in alignment with, say, the spiders coming down here maybe going a little further than the transports. All of that's beginning to come together will create a better, or let's say greater buying opportunity, one in which that will show us a greater correction that will lead us to believe that there will be more of an upside potential than, right now, all we can logically say is, okay, let's see what happens if we can test the 200 MA and this congestion area, this 570 area, as well as that, will coincides, of course, with SPX. We'll be looking at, what oil does, and you can see oil's up here a little bit, which is a bit of a positive. It's breaking out a little bit on a smaller time frame, not a big deal. It's in a downtrend. Interest rates, what, do they come off here, raise a little bit off of this low? So, the short answer to all of this is, yeah, this should bounce. If it doesn't bounce in the next couple of days or so, something's probably wrong, right? Meaning that's resistance area that we looked at, prices need to clear it. Right? So that's what we need to be seeing happen in the next day or two, maybe today. We'll see. Gold, new all-time highs, looks great. Silver moving up, top of the resistance area. Right? So multiple time frames. Why look multiple time frames? Oh, what's the trend? What's to the left? And so I could either scrunch this up, of course, and see that it's up near prior resistance, but this big bottoming pattern here suggests it's going to go through that. So you got a momentum move. So after a momentum move, the next part of the thought process, as we call it, is buy the pullback, buy a continuation pattern. It should go higher. Well, what is at resistance? Well, as I said, big bottom, it should go through it. Then we see what's going to happen. So a lot of damage been done. I'm going to get to SPX. Right. We got the semiconductor coming down here closer to that major support level. I'm going to broke through that one. So that's good. But downtrend needs to repair some of the damage. Internet broken down, lots of damage done, violation of the uptrend on the weekly time frame. And so even look at mid caps broken down into support. And so looking for bounces here, but anticipating or belief or bias that after prices rally up a little bit, sellers are going to be saying, I don't give a darn. I just want my money back. I want to cut my losses. I don't believe blah, blah, blah. And we'll get the next retest. And we'll see where that goes. Financials broken down. Pretty much everything's broken. Insurance, it looks decent. You can take a look at that on your own. But insurance, one of the better things holding up there. And get back here a second here and just see where that is. Top of the trading range. Let's see how far SPX came up. Maybe. So last Friday, we said this would be likely to be a no-brainer. Gap up, strike was all the way down there. You can always go back and watch the replays on YouTube. And 55.20, come up a lot. Should come up a lot after yesterday. Now we see, where does it put that? Okay. Bottom of Friday's low. That's good, right? Ideally, would be below a whole number, but that's unlikely it's going to happen unless there's some sell-off in the morning. So in no way, shape, or form should this go down there today. If it does, something's wrong. Common sense, right? You don't need any proprietary indicators or analysis to know that. I'd like to see this come way up there. right? Because once you get a bullish turn, usually the call options are going to go to the moon, making them a no-brainer. So we know SPY is here. The likelihood of getting up to the 200 today, news is already out. And I don't think see if there's any other news coming out here. At 10 o'clock, there's business inventories. So I don't know, they're probably not going to be that much of a market mover. I think this morning was retail sales. And so the latter part of the week is where more significant news is interest rate decision on Wednesday. And that's not anticipated to do anything. So probably, free movement based on technicals until Wednesday. So unlikely to get to either one of those today. And yeah, that's it. Let's see what today brings. All yours, Dan.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Has anyone drinking beer yet? Green beer? I think that's why Sam went to Europe, so he could start drinking early. So I love this open. I would prefer when I last looked last night, it was the spiders were down like 22, something like that, which just in my head, I'm like, perfect. That's a perfect little bullish gap down because I forget how much we were up, what, 100, 10, 100 points. So down 22 is the perfect 22% gap down. And then we would buy 30-minute high. But as long as, when I kept saying bullish bias provided, it's not destroyed. Well, it's not destroyed. It's perfect. Whether it's flat, up a little, down a little, it's perfect. So now we'll see what happens in the first hour. As long as it doesn't get destroyed, we have a full bullish bias for a bounce. Yeah, I saw that one, Thomas IONQ. Yeah, that would have been a beautiful entry on Friday. Yeah. That one's better. That one's better. Could be catch up closer to support. So I like that one. Let's watch. Oh, Greg, I gave you comments on that. I emailed them this morning, by the way. So you might want to hold off, but whatever. All right, so I got a bunch of alarms. We started doing a lot of put spreads the last couple of days. And so we've got a ton of Climos, many other bullish things. I got alarms going off here that I'll be managing at the open. So this one's not a Climo, but it's just a bullish ascending triangle breakout. I had an alarm go off, but I don't see any prints, but that looks great. Greg explained the void to you again. Look at all these football players here and this momentum move. That's a void. What? As Greg said, who can't understand that? It's right there in your face. Momentum move is a void. So that looks great. Marriott, all these leisure hotels, cruise ships, jets. There's Climos galore. Marriott, I had an alarm go off, but again, I don't see any prints. Look at jets, Climo, Delta, alarm. We entered that, I think, on Friday, but it still looks great. It's a new trade over the high. Thomas Richter above the, I'm not sure what that means, above the 15. That's a big old bar on Friday. I wouldn't touch that unless I had like a 1, 2, 3, 4, but still there's no great void. All right. Continuing with alarms here. I actually started selling puts on Friday. I did spiders, Qs, and IWM. I didn't like the premium on diamonds. And I got these alarms going off. Spiders, Qs, and I gave them its new put spread ideas, and now we're coming in, which is perfect because then for them to trigger, they got to take out this pre-market resistance. So let me reset my alarms now because they went off already. Qs. So Qs have been the strongest all week, and they are again today. There's a number of bullish 15-minute FANG stocks here. Meta, but no great daily chart. But this could be a sloppy retest pattern. If there's no follow through to this red bar, beautiful put spread. It's not a great swing trading long, but beautiful put spread. But I'd really like to get over Thursday's high. Netflix had an upgrade. That's looks like the most bullish one pre-market here. Microsoft actually down, and Tesla selling off a little bit. And Tesla, I have as a put spread idea over the highs, but their premium wasn't as big. XLK put spread. These are all alarms again. LBR, DK. This was yours, Alex. I had enough alarm, but I don't see anything there. But it's a buy setup with a deep retracement. But it's greater than 100%. It's at the 50. I got a 3-bar turn, and I got a void again. So even 50%, we'll take it. Well, when you say rolling over, you got to put it in perspective. Yeah, rolling over on 5-minute chart, but 15 and hourly are still fine. So it's noise to me. Pelletier. I love this weekly buy setup. Again, deep. It's a buy setup, deep retracement, but that's fine. I'm not looking for a new high. Daily, it made the turn after a breakdown failure. So you might say, well, Dan, there's no void here. And the answer is, you're right. You're right. But the fact that it's been consolidating for a month here in a breakdown failure in a bullish weekly, the pattern suggests it will go through that. Not like butter, but it'll churn its way through, and then my target is up here around $100. So that's the rationale for that setup. Expedia alarm just went off. Another climber with the 200. It's in a downtrend, but fluid. Turn on the 200, now gapping up. Looks great. Let me put that in this chart. XPE. I'm still going through alarms here that all went off. SLQT. SLQT alarm. $3 stock, it's making a turn as a void. If it goes all the way to 50 or maybe even like 20 as it starts to come down. SMCI broke out last week, pullback, reversal, up. That looks great. I gave that as a put spread in the letter. But I'd say based on this pre-market 30-minute high, I think this thing could go to the 200, which would be a nice home run swing trade. So that, you see how many fantastic trades we have here? SMH was going to be a put spread. Alarm went off. Now it's coming in. Let me reset it. Very good. Look at this little LAES bottoming pattern. Look at that beautiful thing. Lay's. Alex, I think this is the one that makes Lay's potato chips. I think, you gotta go check yourself. But that's a beautiful bottoming pattern. I just put that in a window. Netflix upgrade, we said. Okay, I don't know what's up with a firm, but this was a Climo and retest at the 200. So we gave this as I forget, directional or put spread. I gotta go look. We have so many friggin' trade ideas. But now something's up pre-market, which is destroying it. So let me cancel that one because I do not want it now if it rips back up. Confirm, cancel. Well, yeah, but they didn't sell off at 8:30, Patrick, when they came out. I mean, we're slowly deteriorating now, but yeah, firm was a directional. Wait, what do I see when pending? Huh, I don't see. I didn't. I don't see it in pending for some reason. This is firm. I'll have to go. Sometimes I forget to copy paste over. All right, SBLK alarm just went off. Little bottoming pattern. We're giving that, I think, it's a long call. All right, let's check our bias now real quick. We got a minute to go. All right, so see, Don, we're so it's fine. I call this we're opening flat. So, which I like. It means we get to chill at the open and not be crazy. And the worst scenario is I hate chasing. So if we were to gap up $5 in the spiders, I would not be happy because then it would destroy many of our setups and we'd have to patiently wait for pullbacks. I had an AAL alarm go off, another Climo. Let me reset the alarm. It's coming in. All right, so we're done. We got a ton of, man, Netflix is still ripping. Look at Home Depot alarm I had as a Climo, but I think, oh, yeah, it was too friggin' spready is why I didn't give this. But AAL could be a 30-minute higher. WRD alarm, we're actually in that already. WRD. Oh, nice. Yeah, we bought a half lot Friday. SMH alarm. This was a put spread. My alarm just went off, so that's good to go. All right, WRD. Fizzler low alarm. That's the one I mentioned, Greg. Fizzler. All right, I'm adjusting alarms here. 21. Fizzler alarm. Yeah, I would have done a call spread, but not enough juice. But I was considering a short on that, but it's down so much. BSAT. Yeah, we're in it. We're in it, Alex. Then the weekend letter. So Visco alarm, that's been a Climo I've been watching for a long time. So VSAT 989. We're getting more alarms here going on. All right, VSATs a go. Visco. Nah, I still don't like it. HGV. Now, see, this is a better one. Hilton Grand. That's a good Climo. There was no premium or spreads or whatever. But this one was not in the letter. I just had an alarm. Okay. So see, market's rallying now, and now my alarms are going nuts. All right, HEI is a go. So this was a perfect opening for our trades. AAL. All right, on a bunch of these, I just forget if they're directionals or put spreads. Looks like a Goldman. Goldman, beautiful turn. That's a put spread. Triple M is triggering clean. 151.25. EFG. The market's making it work. All right, PFG looks great. AIG. All right, was this official? PFG? I don't see it official. As a directional. All right, I don't see this one posted. All right, but it's a deep retracement. Target could be the 20 MA. Well, that's you gotta trade your plan. So I'm certainly not gonna push you.
Idea if someone wanted to, so when they could put AMD
I looked at
99,
it.
98.
I looked over the weekend and it didn't seem juicy enough.
Well, I mean, if you don't mind owning it,
Oh, well, you
I mean,
didn't.
tying up the capital, but I know it's not enough, a lot of premium. 100 is like whatever, 75 cents, 77 cents.
Yeah, I gave a couple other semis, including SMH.
And I like these patterns, like pretty much everything, this market, whatever, like that should go up for a few days. So, buying pullbacks and those kind of patterns should work out quite well.
That's PXL. Yeah, looks great. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll buy some for my den. Oh, fuck, I missed it. Damn it. All right, and Berkshire up alarm. All right, so now I'm getting crazy. Now I'm getting busy. ECL alarm. It came down from a big old square top, but that looks like it will bounce 50%. ALK is come on, man. Now I'm going berserk here. These are
Keep it
all
to
good.
yourself.
These are, I know, but they're all good. I'll get to them. I just can't at once. That's
Yeah.
why I just bought Alex's PXL myself because that's a ETF. So some of these are open trades like this, KIE. GoDaddy, we're already in it. Up Alarm. Okta, Up Alarm, we're already in it. XLF, good to go. I think put spread I gave, but it also looks like it can bounce. Berkshire, we're in. Let's move stop under 510. Nice moves here, you all. This Friday was our turn, and this is our continuation. So I am bullish as can be for a bounce here. Yep. Okay, looks great. I'm gonna join you. Yep, looks great. Wow, it's pretty. AXS. Yeah, so I sold puts and bought stock on AOK. AXS looks good. I forget if this was official or not. Let me look. I don't see it official, but I like it. Let's buy this. Stop. Just because they're so close, let's do stop Thursday's low. Costco up alarm. Costco, why? Oh, I think, oh, I like the inverse head and shoulder on the 15-minute chart for day trading. Yep, AAL, yep. I had an alarm at 11. But yep, that looks good. I'm also gonna sell the $20. Wait, a well, you can sell the $11. So both stuck and sold puts. HEI triggered. Even my alarm on TTD dog went off, but it still is total dog meat. All right, Berkshire, I never tighten this stuff under 510. Hilton up alarm. Marriott ripping. NCLH alarm. All right, Berkshire, let's sell a third here. It looks fantastic though, but it's up at prior highs, 517.34. So we got what, a $12 gain. Yeah, AIGR is already triggered. We're in it from the morning. EM alarm, we're in trail mode, looks great. Let's move stuff. Yesterday's low, 102.58. Wow, AD line gap down to almost zero. Now it's 1,500. Wow, it's a lot of buying there. Big shame. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was a clean buy setup, sure. Yeah, I would have put that in the letter had I seen it. Yeah, that was totally good to go over the highs. Look at that inverse head and shoulder in the 15. All right, let's buy a half lot here. Stop yesterday's low and then add it at around 110. I'm gonna pull back. 1077. Oh, Alex, remember the bet you and Greg made me? I think I won. Don't you agree? Marriott triggered. All right, so it looks like that was a nice little morning flurry. Ideally, we rest until 10:30 maybe and prove that it's going to hold this, and then do another leg up. Did I give Marriott directional? No, I did not. Why not? Oh, I guess because the stupid 200 there. All right, there's a ton of put spreads, and I'm way behind. All right, so now we can relax. All right, HE was good, 1127. That was clean buy setup. Dude, that would have been one. That was a clean pattern. I wish I had a buy stuff in. So I missed it. The Qs, we're gonna do a AIG 8814. Delta was along. Did that trigger? 4673. No, it did not. Okay, so good. All right, so this one I'm gonna put a buy stop in over 4676. 4676.
Ags are coming in pretty hard.
Sure. Yep. So is the Qs. Yep. Yep. All right, good. Give me time to catch up on IFF was, let's cancel that. Triggered. It's actually a relative weakness. HEI did trigger 256.87. SYK hasn't triggered. This is going to be shorting puts. S block. Buying calls. Oh, shoot, I gave a limit. Darn it, we're not going to get filled because I gave a limit on the calls. Still looks great though. Let me see how much they are now. S block, the $16 calls. they're 95, so that's fine, let's do that. S block 95. Berkshire up alarm again.